One of my interests about America is President Donald Trump. I think it is an important issue at the moment. I think President Trump, as a newly elected American president, is quite important for the world, and I think that's quite interesting. I think President Trump is a British puppet president for America. I think that he's a British puppet president for America. So I think that the British government have a lot of influence and control over President Donald Trump. I think it's something to do with The Apprentice and his billionaire background, but more importantly, the contact he has had with the British government. So I think he does have close contact with the British government, and I think that America does have a special relationship with Britain, and this could perhaps be some kind of British interest in taking advantage of that special relationship with America. So I think the British are the British are profiting from this relationship in maybe a significant way in the world. I think we've had maybe 5 British puppet presidents over the past 10 to 15 years. We had Barack Hussein Obama, who was a British puppet president. I think his father had contact with the British in Kenya, where he was a minister there. I think it was his father who had some contact with, and it was also George W. Bush, who has been creating a lot of these presidents. I think it was George W. Bush who elected Barack Hussein Obama, and then President Donald Trump with the first term as president, and then President Joe Biden, and now President Donald Trump again. So I think that's quite important. But there is a lot of interest, I think, with the British and these British-American presidents in America. I think, unfortunately, it is something to do with the special relationship that America has with Great Britain. So I think that the world has changed a lot in the past 10 to 15 years because of these presidents, and now again with President Donald Trump. So I think we are likely to see a continuation of the trends we've been having for the past 15 years with these 5 presidents, these 5 British puppet presidents. And I think that it's likely to be that kind of cooling off environment in the world, that cooling off type of politics. It's kind of an easy care-do attitude, not kind of solving problems or dealing with challenges, but just taking a cooling off backseat in the global world in terms of its economy and politics. And I think that's how the world has been functioning for the past 15 years under these American presidents. So I think that's one of the trends we're likely to see with President Donald Trump. And it is that I think that's one of the reasons why it's an important time for the world for the next 4 years under President Donald Trump. I don't know how long this is likely to continue for, maybe 30 to 40 years. So it seems to be some kind of President George W. Bush administration policy, where there has to be a long procedure for a long time in government, in American government, for the benefit of the world. So I think that the world is kind of in a state of equilibrium and cooling off for 60 to 80 years because President George W. Bush has some kind of policy administration in place where the world could be seen as too dangerous by President George W. Bush. That's why he's kind of trying to cool it off or something. So I think that the main mechanism in place in America is President George W. Bush, who's been electing these presidents and has been conducting some kind of a policy with America and the world. And I think that's one of my interests and concerns about President Donald Trump. So that's one of my views about Donald Trump. Thank you.